Hi there, our Sadaf Qureshi here, and today we are going to talk about dental pulp. If we look at the cross section of tooth, we can appreciate enamel, that is the outermost covering of the crown of tooth, and we can appreciate dentine, that is also the mineralized tissue of tooth, and it surrounds the pulp from all sides. Then we can appreciate pulp, that is ectomesenchymal connective tissue of pulp, and that gives tooth the blood supply and nerve supply and nutrition, etc. And then we can appreciate cementum, that is the outermost covering of root of tooth, and we can appreciate periodontal ligament or PDL, that is basically anchors the tooth with the alveolar bone socket. And then we can appreciate alveolar bone proper, and we can also appreciate apical foramen. It is the area from where pulp is not surrounded by dentine and it connects with periodontal ligament. And then we can also appreciate interradicular bone, especially if the tooth is like multi-rooted, because in multi-rooted tooth there will be bone between the different roots. So interradicular bone is also appreciated, especially in the case of multi-rooted tooth. And we can also appreciate tooth socket, and tooth socket is basically the part of alveolar bone in which tooth is present. So as we are going to talk about pulp, so here is the pulp and we are going to focus on it. This is pulp, and it is an ectomesenchymal connective tissue that supports the dentine. It is a cuboid pulp cavity in the central part of tooth, and as it is in the central part of tooth, it is sometimes called as endodontia. Dental pulp is surrounded by dentine from all sides except at 2 points, that are sesquipulpinal and apical pulp foramen, and these are 2 points from where the pulp communicates with the periodontal ligament. Then we have another concept associated with pulp, that is also called as dentine pulp complex. Even though dentine and pulp are different in composition, as dentine is a mineralized tissue while pulp is a soft tissue, and they also differ in structure, as you can see there are so many structural differences between dentine and pulp, but they are closely related embryologically and functionally, and this makes them a complex. There is a functional complex, and that is called as dentine pulp complex. That is an important concept in dentistry, so I want you to know this and remember this. Now let's talk about the parts of pulp. The parts of pulp are coronal pulp, that is the crown portion of the pulp, and then it has a radicular pulp, that is root portion of the pulp. Coronal pulp is portion of pulp that is in crown region of tooth, and radicular pulp is portion of pulp that is in root region of tooth. Now we will talk about how it communicates with the PDL, or how the pulp communicates with PDL. It communicates with periodontal ligament or PDL through apical foramen and its signal that are present lateral to the apical foramen. Now we will talk about a little bit about the histology of dental pulp, as it is the wholesome video of dental pulp. And one of the video we talked about only the histology of dental pulp. If you want to watch that video, you can watch that on our channel. But we will evaluate a little bit the histology of dental pulp here. Histology of dental pulp. If we increase the section, or if we take a section of dental pulp, we will see a structure like this. And if we look at this structure, we will see that it has different layers or different zone. The outermost layer or outermost zone is called as odontoblastic layer. Then it has the second layer or second zone, that is called as cell free zone. It is called cell free zone because there are relatively no cells there present. And then the third zone of pulp is cell rich zone, that it has so many cells present, and this zone acts as a reservoir for the cells of the dental pulp. And then we have the pulp core, that is the fourth zone of the dental pulp. So from coming from outside towards inside, we have four layers of dental pulp, four zones of dental pulp that we can appreciate: odontoblastic layer, cell free zone, cell rich zone, and the pulp core. These are the four zones that we can appreciate when we study the histology of dental pulp. Now let's talk about the components of dental pulp. Dental pulp have cellular components and extracellular components, and also it has connective tissue structures. If we talk about cellular component, the cellular component of dental pulp include odontoblasts, fibroblasts, undifferentiated mesenchymal cells, macrophages, B cells, and neutrophils. Odontoblasts are the bone dentine forming cells. Basically, fibroblasts are the cells that forms collagen, and extracellular matrix, and then we have undifferentiated mesenchymal cells that when needed can differentiate in any of the cell type. And also we have macrophages, B cells, and neutrophils that are basically the defense cells that prevent that defend the pulp against any bacteria or microorganism. So these are the cellular component of dental pulp, and as we know it has three main components: cellular components, extracellular component, and connective tissue structure. So now we are going to talk about extracellular component. And extracellular component of dental pulp include collagen fibers and ground substance. Talking about the connective tissue structures that are present in dental pulp, that are blood vessels, lymphatic channels, and nerve fibers. These are the important connective tissue structures that are present in dental pulp. So this was all about components of dental pulp. Now we will talk about functions of the dental pulp in a little bit of detail. The first function the dental pulp do, is dentine formation, as a odontoblasts present and they are dentine forming cell. So they continue to form the dentine throughout the life. So and before the eruption of truth and all of this, when dentine is formed by odontoblast, so that's the reason we can say that the one of the function of dental pulp is dentine formation, and the second function of dental pulp is nutritional support, as it provides nutrition to dentine, odontoblast, and all of the structure present here. And it also has sensory function, as it has sensory as a nerve supply here in the pulp, so that act as a sensory function of dental pulp. And then it also has defensive role, as we know there are so many defense cells present in the dental pulp, and that play a defensive role of the dental pulp. And regenerative role is also there, as odontoblast here can regenerate some of the dentine if attacked, and that's the regenerative role of dental pulp. And also protective role by having different um, nerve supply or sensory function and defensive role. It also work as a defensive role. So dental pulp also has a protective role. So this was about the functions of dental pulp. Now we will talk a little bit about the age changes of dental pulp. The first change that occurs with age in the dental pulp is reduction in pulp size. As the dentine formation continues, it reduces the pulp size, and there is decreased cellularity of dental pulp in with age, and also increased fibrosis occurs because of continuous production of collagen fibers, and there is reduced vascularity of dental pulp with age. And there is also calcification thing that occurs in dental pulp with age, and diminished sensory function because of reduced nerve supply of the dental pulp also occurs with age. So this was a little bit introduction of dental pulp. If you want a detailed video on any specific topic of dental pulp or any other video, you can just comment. And thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment.